Welcome to this explainer. If you've ever found yourself totally tangled up in the timeline of English grammar, well, you're in the exact right place today. We're going to completely demystify time itself, at least grammatically speaking. We'll look at exactly how we talk about things that were happening, things that happened, and things that just happened but still matter right now. So let's jump right in. Okay, let's look at our roadmap for today. First up, Section 1, Actions in Progress. Then we'll move to Section 2, When Actions Collide. And finally, Section 3, Past Actions, Present Results. All right, starting off with Section 1, Actions in Progress. So what does it actually mean for an action to be actively happening in the past? It kind of sounds like a paradox, right? Like, how can something be happening if it's already over? Well, that's exactly where the past continuous tense comes in. Think of this as the grammar equivalent of hitting the pause button on a movie. The past continuous indicates an action or condition that was in progress at a specific moment in the past, and I really want to emphasize that phrase right there. In progress. It wasn't finished, it hadn't just started, it was literally happening right at that exact second. Let's look at a concrete example to make this super clear. Imagine it's exactly 4 o'clock. Now, let's say at 6 o'clock, Sarah is at home watching television. But if we rewind back to 4 o'clock, she wasn't at home. She wasn't watching TV. She was right in the middle of a tennis match at the sports club. And this timeline brilliantly illustrates the whole concept. See, Sarah began playing at 3 o'clock. She stopped playing at 4:30. So that 4 o'clock timestamp is sandwiched right in the middle of her starting and finishing the game. Because 4 o'clock falls squarely in that unfinished window, we say she was playing. Now, this tense isn't just for talking about sports. It's actually an amazing tool for setting a scene. If I wanted to describe the start of my day yesterday, I wouldn't just state cold, boring facts. I'd use the past continuous to paint the background. I'd say something like, it was a beautiful morning, the sun was shining, and the birds were singing. You see how that instantly drops you right into the middle of that environment? Building this structure is honestly like a super simple mathematical formula. You just take your subject, add the past tense of the to be verb, which is either was or were, and then you combine it with the ing form of your main verb, like I was doing, or we were running. And if you want to make it negative, you just drop a not right in there. He wasn't playing. It's highly logical and thankfully incredibly consistent. Moving right along to Section 2, When Actions Collide. Because let's face it, life isn't just one smooth, continuous action, is it? Things happen. Interruptions happen. So the really crucial point here is understanding the difference between these two states. On one side, we have the past simple. We played tennis from 10 to 11:30. That is a fully completed action, beginning to end, done deal. But on the other side, we have the past continuous. We were playing tennis at 10:30. That's an unfinished action at a very specific timestamp. So what happens when these two grammar worlds collide? Well, let's check out this little micro drama unfolding right here with Jack. Jack is having a totally relaxing time. He was reading a book. That's our continuous background action, right? But then, right in the middle of it, the phone rang. Bam! That's our sudden, completed, past simple action, acting as a major interruption. Now, I want you to actively think about this for just a second. What did Jack do when the phone rang? How did he react to this collision of events? The answer is, he stopped reading and answered the phone. Notice the tense shift here. We don't say he was stopping or he was answering. Because these are new, subsequent actions that happened one right after another as completed events, we express them strictly in the past simple. When we map this out on a timeline, it builds a perfect visual representation. You have this long, drawn-out block of time, he was reading, that forms the background. Then, smack in the middle, it gets sliced right in half by the short, sudden action, the phone rang. Jack began reading way before the phone rang, so when the phone rang, he was reading. The continuous tense sets the stage, the simple tense brings the action. And that brings us to our final part, Section 3, Past Actions, Present Results. Now we're going to shift our focus away from the strict past and look at actions that bridge right into our current reality. Take a look at this transformation. On the left, this guy's shoes are just completely covered in dirt. In the middle, he's actively cleaning them. And on the right, he's kicking back, looking very pleased with himself. And why is he so pleased? Because he has cleaned his shoes.
This right here is the present perfect tense. It's incredibly powerful because it tells us that his shoes are clean now. We aren't just talking about a chore he did 10 minutes ago. We are focusing entirely on the result we see right in front of us today. The past action birthed a present reality.
Let's quickly break down the present perfect formula so you can use it yourself. You take your subject, add have or has, and then attach the past participle of the verb. Now, for regular verbs, the past participle is super easy. It just ends in ed, like cleaned or finished. But, English loves throwing a curveball, so we have irregular verbs that break the mold entirely, like lost, done, or gone. Let's walk through some real-world examples to really cement this idea. If someone says, "I've lost my passport," they aren't just telling a sad story about yesterday. They're saying, "I can't find it now, and I have a huge problem at this exact moment." Or if you ask, "Where's Linda?" and I say, "She's gone to bed," it means she is in bed right now. "We've bought a new car" means that shiny new car is sitting out in the driveway right now. In every single case, a past event is directly responsible for a present condition. To wrap up our explainer today, I want to leave you with this final, incredibly practical example. Imagine someone pointing to a paper on a desk and asking, "Can I take this newspaper? Have you finished with it?" They don't care about the history of your reading habits. They want to know your status right now so they can take the paper. So next time you speak, pay attention to whether you are trapping yourself in the past or bringing your actions into the present. How is your past shaping your right now? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you in the next one.